Hello there everyone, it's me Josh. Welcome to Storytime. Today, if you haven't seen already, we're reading Hansel and Gretel. A classic story, an awesome story. This one's illustrated by Eric and Jane Waters. There's Hansel and Gretel there. Oh, looks like some birds flying over. Walk into a tree. Looking forward to delving into this story today. If you are too, yeah? Alright, let's get comfortable, get ready. Wherever you are, we're about to delve into story time. That's right, here we go. Hansel and Gretel. Retold by Ronne Randall, illustrated by Eric and Jane Waters. Here we go. Hansel and Gretel lived by the forest with their stepmother and their father, who was a poor woodcutter. One evening the family had nothing to eat but a few crusts of bread. Hansel and Gretel went to bed feeling hungry. As they lay there, they heard their stepmother and father talking. "There are too many mouths to feed," said their stepmother. "We must take your children into the forest and leave them there." "Never," cried father. "Well, I'm not going to starve," their stepmother shouted. "The children are going, and that is that." Gretel began to cry, but Hansel comforted her. "Don't worry, I'll think of something," he promised. Wow, it's really sad. The next morning, Hansel and Gretel were woken by their stepmother at daybreak. "We're going into the forest to chop wood," she cried, as she gave Hansel and Gretel a crust of bread to eat for their lunch. Hansel broke his bread into tiny pieces as they walked along. He secretly dropped a trail of crumbs on the ground. You think that might be so he could find his way home? Yeah? Clever. "Your stepmother and I are going to chop wood now," the children's father said when they were deep in the forest. "We'll return for you at sunset." The children shared Gretel's bread, and then they curled up at the foot of an old oak tree and fell asleep. When Hansel and Gretel woke up, it was dark, and their little fire had gone out. "Let's follow the trail of breadcrumbs I left," whispered Hansel as he comforted his sister. But the breadcrumbs were gone. The forest birds had eaten them all up. "We'll wait until morning," Hansel said. "When it's light, we'll find our way home." Look, there's a little twit-twoo from an owl. Well, it'd be scary being stranded in the forest in the middle of the night. Scary, scary. The next morning, the children were woken by the sound of birdsong. A white bird flapped its wings as if to beckon them. "Look," cried Hansel. "Maybe that bird will lead us home." They're chasing after the bird, but the white bird led them deeper into the forest to a little house made of gingerbread. The roof was dripping with frosting, the windows were framed with candy canes, and the garden was filled with lollipops. Wow, what a cool sounding house. Or is it that cool? Ooh, we'll find out. Delighted, the hungry children began to feast upon the candies. Suddenly the door opened. Creak, and an old woman hobbled out. "Nibble, nibble like a mouse, who is nibbling at my house?" she croaked. "I can't see very well, who are you?" "Just two hungry children," Hansel replied. "Ah," said the old woman, "well, you'd better come inside and I'll make you a proper meal." Uh-oh. The woman doesn't seem too trustworthy, does she? No. A random house made of candy in the middle of the forest seems a bit suspicious. Well, jump over to the next video. Part 2, we'll finish Hansel and Gretel. Thanks so much for reading with the story with me today. Reading with the story with me today? Doesn't make much sense, does it, Josh? Alrighty. If you like these, please subscribe. Click that bell below. Then you can visit the page, read any of the other stories and any ones I do in future, whenever you like. Bye for now, not forever. We'll finish this story really, really soon.